Welcome to Pumpkin Corner Nursery. Today is Tuesday. Today is the letter C, and the word for today is car seat. So sit back and let's talk about car seats. And you'll see a few pictures I've included. Happy Tuesday. Hi guys. So today is actually not Tuesday. I usually videotape like a couple days before the Alphabet Tuesday because I work during the week and I may not feel like videotaping on Tuesday. But anyway, today I'm on and the word is car seat, and I'm going to talk about the things that were related to why I chose this word to talk about today. So, as you know, when you go to collect your reborn, and I'm a collector and now I'm a beginning artist, so I see it on both uh, perspectives. So as an artist, I need somewhere to keep my art that I'm creating for myself or client or customer. I need it protected. And then if I'm a collector, I need somewhere to protect my investment that I'm making, right? So when I started collecting, my first time collecting, I collected a preemie. It was the Megan Asleep from Bountiful Baby. I needed a place of protection, of security to protect my investment that I was making. And when I say investment, these dolls are not cheap. So I was on a payment plan. And while the doll was being created for me, I was over here at home because the person who was the artist, she lived in another state from me. But I was at home preparing for this investment that I was making and paying for months at a time. So anyway, when you get your reborn doll, you want to protect your reborn doll, number one, from pets. I have seen on people's YouTube lives where pets are walking around the vinyl kits, and it's not anything wrong if you want your pets around your dolls. That's your prerogative. But where it can become a problem is if your pet chews on that or nibbles on it or bites a finger off or a nose off or something of that nature or toes off. So you want your doll to be protected. So now me personally, I don't have pets in my home, so I was just trying to have a place of safety, a place where I knew the doll was going to be, and I wanted to protect the doll from dye transfer. So I didn't want my doll laying on bed sheets that were dark in color, laying up against clothing like jeans or things that are black or things that are deep purples or deep blues, things that can bleed dye. I wanted to protect my investment. So the first time I bought a doll, I was like, what could I buy to keep the doll in? And I like my dolls. I like to see my collection in my office space. When I come in, all my dolls are out and looking at me. Um, so, um, but the first time I bought a doll, which means I had no dolls at first, I bought this preemie, and I was like, oh, I can get a car seat to keep the doll in. And so I bought the car seat, and of course the interior of the car seat was black. So I immediately came up with the strategy of finding a lightly colored, nice plush blanket to put inside the car seat, or you can buy um, accessories for the car seat. That way, when you lay the baby in the car seat or the doll in the car seat, there won't be any dye transfer. So I am very adamant that when I put my dolls into the car seat, it is covered in something lightly colored, or cream, or like a light green, pastel colors, things that won't bleed onto my doll and ruin my investment. So with that being said, I went on this journey to find this car seat. And now, for number one, I don't have any children, so
But I was a teacher for like 25 years, and I had experience with children ages infant all the way up to third grade. And I babysat for people. So I had that experience that I was bringing to the table. Like, I've changed the diaper. I know what the whole holding a baby is about, yada, yada. But in terms of parenting, that day-to-day parenting that would be going into having a child or a baby or a kid, I don't know, what that requires. So as I'm going on this journey to prepare for my investment that I'm making, I say, okay, I'm gonna get a car seat. I think a car seat would be a good place to keep a doll. Um, all I had was this one coming. I didn't have anything else. And it was vinyl. It wasn't the silicone. It was vinyl. I don't have any silicone in my collection yet, but eventually I will. So I bought this car seat. Well, I went on an adventure to find a car seat. And one of the things that I began to find is I wanted to, because this is a doll and not a real child, I thought that I could go to one of my consignment shops and buy a car seat. And immediately I began to find out that there were, for real parents with real children, there are stipulations about car seats. And so I thought this would be a good space to talk about that. If you don't have a child, but you're interested in collecting reborns and you're interested in getting in the hobby, um, a lot of places, I guess it might change state to state, but I am on the internet looking at my laptop, and I wanted to talk about used car seats. And so if you get a used car seat, what my state is saying, or state regulations or safety regulations are saying, is that your car seat has to meet current safety standards and regulations, and it can't have a recall on it. And so now I understand why a lot of places just didn't even, so for example, consignment shops, thrift stores, secondhand stores, they did not even want to have nothing to do with selling a used car seat, because how do what do I use to measure if your car seat meets current safety standards and regulations? How do I know if there's been a recall on your car seat? Um, the car seat more than 6 years old? Um, does the person giving me this car seat have all of the history of the car seat, what happened to it, the paperwork that it came with, all of that, right? And so now I understand why in the real world of having children and young children and infants, nobody wants to sell used car seats. So the next thing is I had to go on an adventure to no longer be searching for a used car seat, but now I needed a car seat to get ready to keep my reborn in. And I went shopping online, looking in stores, and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't have no real child. This is for my investment of collecting my excuse me, y'all. Of collecting my reborn. And oh, I was fooling in the garden today and moving pollen. So I'm probably sneezing because of that. But anywho, I went on this journey to find this car seat, and I ended up, I think I went to an online website and found a car seat, brand new, not used, for under $200. So I was able to do that. But typically, you're not going to find used car seats, and typically, you're not going to find car seats for under a certain amount of money. So I begin to see that to protect my investment that's expensive and worth valuable dollars, I also was going to have to spend valuable dollars to protect it as well. And so I did get a car seat. Now I have 2 car seats and a bassinet. And I have tiered carts on wheels that I keep the dolls displayed in as well. And so that's working out for me. I got another kind of bassinet. Is smaller, on a smaller scale, and I fit babies wherever I can fit them to display them, and then I just keep them wiped down when necessary, or I have a thick makeup brush and I dust them off when needed, just keeping them up and keeping them groomed and cared for and taking care of my investment. But I wanted to talk about the car seats because I remember as a new collector, trying to find these car seats, and it just became a little frustrating. Like, where am I going to find me a used car seat? And really, there a lot of places don't want to sell used car seats. They don't want to have nothing to do with that, because I mean, think about it. If you buy a used car seat and you have not done the work that I talked about, that I found on the internet, and something happens to somebody's child and they get in a accident of some sort, and that car seat is malfunction, that's not going to come out well. It's not going to work. It's not going to come out well. So I just wanted to talk about car seats today, not all the other accessories just yet, but the car seat in general, just because it took me a while to find one. And I finally did find one, and I was able to get it at an affordable price compared. And then when I say affordable, affordable is relative, right? Some people will spend $1,000 on a car seat, $1,000 on a pram, a couple $1,000 on a crib bassinet set to design and create their nursery, right? Because I'm spending it one time and I'm planning on having this for a lifetime, or whatever it is, right? And everybody's creativity is different, and you want what you want. You want to have, and especially if you are a YouTube creator, you're a content creator, you want your nursery, your reborn nursery, to have the flair that you want it to have. So no judgment zone here. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to buy, however you want to present it, is what you should do. And I stopped worrying about what I was spending, how much I was spending in my hobby and all that stuff, because I realized everybody's spending. It's just not on what you spending on, right? And I began to find out that people got shoes that cost more than my reborns. People got purses that cost more than my reborns. It's makeup lines that cost as much as the blank kits, okay? So like, I went to Chicago for a trip last year, and I remember walking down the Gold Coast. That's the area where I was when I was in Chicago. And they had police officers standing at stores, like guarding the entrance to the stores to make sure, like, who's coming in here. Okay? It's people that's buying perfumes and jewelry and all kinds of stuff that's an investment. Okay? So I don't care what nobody say about my spending and what I'm doing for my hobby that I love and enjoy, and now have taken it to the next level and trying to become a reborn artist. I could care less, because everybody is spending their money, their hard-earned money, exactly where they want to, and enjoying their life. And guess what? I should too. So I don't care. It is what it is. But anyway, let's see. Who could I show today before I leave? Because Most people want to see a doll. I'm going to show my Laura kit by Kimberly Marquise. So Kimberly Marquise is the artist for this baby. And I purchased her and paid for her. Her little bow rat is um like trying to come off. Hold on a second. Her little bow rat is, because I haven't been tending to them in a minute. But she is the Laura Kit by Bonnie Brown, and Kimberly Marquise is her artist. And this is Autumn. I named her Autumn. Ooh, and Autumn needs her hair brushed and everything. But I was like, they probably want to see a baby today from my collection. And this is my Autumn, and she's so sweet. And Kim makes beautiful AA babies. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but all I'm going to say is, as an artist, AA babies, people who can make this beautiful chocolate skin tone, they got mad talent, because it's not easy to get to the chocolate skin tones. But anyway, happy Tuesday. Enjoy your evening. And until next month, this has been Alphabet Tuesday, the letter C. The word was car seat. And maybe I shared some details about car seats that were helpful. And maybe I helped you to think about what would be a good way to get started, to just have a spot or place where you can lay and protect your reborn silicone, whatever you decide to purchase. You know, the babies come in different forms: full body, cuddle bodies, avatars, whatever version of the dolls that you are collecting and into. You should have a place of safety to keep your dolls. And I started with a car seat, and then I bought a stroller, and then I bought a bassinet, and then I bought carts on wheels to keep them. So, you know, finding a place to keep your doll is important. Some people don't keep them out in display. Some people display them inside of large, tall glass cabinets and shelves of that nature. And then other people wrap them back up in blankets and only display a few at a time, and they keep them put away. So, you know, it's up to you what you want to do with the investment that you made. But I just wanted to talk about the car seat experience and talk about the fact that if you're new to this, you're not going to find car seats used most of the time, unless you have a friend that you know that's getting ready. Their child has graduated from the car seats and they not having no more kids, and they decide they're giving away those type of items. You could get it that way, but a lot of times you're going to have to buy car seats and stroller. Well, strollers, you can find those used, but today is not about strollers, it's about car seats. But yeah, you're not going to find used car seats. That and I agree that you shouldn't. I think that when you are a parent and you have real children that you birth into this world, you should give them the very best that you can afford. And you know, if you are in a situation where you are struggling, it's places out there that are given to struggling families, and you can get brand new things and items for your baby. You just have to connect, you know, with your local government that's helping families, you know, that are struggling or whatever. But anyway, I was talking about car seats. I tend to go off on a tangent as my mind gets to rolling around based on my experiences. But I just thought I wanted to share about that because these babies are not cheap, and you gotta have a protective place to keep them. And another reason why you want to protect them is if you have pets. You don't want your pets chewing on their fingers, biting their nose off, scratching them or whatever. You want to keep them in a place. And also, if you have young children, you don't want your child to accidentally, you want to create a space in your home that says these are valuable. This is not to be played with. This is the same as if you pick up that porcelain vase over there and drop it. Like, there are rules to handling my collection. And you can't just come in here and put your hands on them. There are rules to that. That I made an investment. Like, it's important. So, with that being said, today's word was car seat, and hopefully I said something that was helpful to you. And until next month, which is August, the fourth Tuesday in August, we will have the letter D. Good night. Bye.